Hi, so this is another video about coercive control, and I found an article that I want to read because it had so much information in it that I thought was just excellent, that I'm like, this is going to take up a whole video with all the information on this article. So I will leave the link down below if anybody is interested in reading it, but I'm basically going to read it for you. Okay, so it's called 7 Signs That... Wait, frick, what did it say? I clicked on it too quick. 7 signs of coercive control in a relationship. Okay. I have the phone here. Okay. It can be tough to tell when a relationship has turned abusive, especially when there are so many ways for our partner to be toxic, from constantly arguing to stalking and everything in between. But one form of psychological abuse, called coercive control, is particularly difficult to spot. Coercive control describes someone's need for total emotional control over their partner, and it's often gained through subtle or sneaky tactics. Coercive control in a relationship is, by definition, not about any of the factors that are being controlled: money, social interactions, rules in the house, individual pursuits. Now, this article is written by a clinical psychologist by the name of Joshua Klapow, Klapow. So I just want to make note of that. Okay, number 1, your partner relies on you for everything. Boy, do I understand this one. So I'm just going to read the description quickly. One misconception about coercive control is that it's always aggressive. Sometimes your partner can control you through reliance instead, which includes acting as if they are incapable of taking care of themselves. When that's the case, your partner looks to you to solve all their problems. They rely on you to the point where you literally have to conduct their lives. They have no independence and see you as there to address their every need. Since they seem helpless instead of domineering, it makes it difficult to spot how toxic this situation really is. But their goal is to still gain power by essentially having you do everything. Let that sink in. That's a big one. Number 2, they claim to be more knowledgeable. With coercive control, one partner often ends up with too much power. Before you know it, yours might actively control your money, your time, friends, and individual pursuits. They might demand control, but they also might gain it by tricking you into thinking it's a good idea. Coercive control occurs when your partner claims they're more knowledgeable or have your best interest at heart. They might explain that they're only trying to help, when in reality they're taking away your independence. That is such a big deal. Just being aware of that. I'm just going to read it one more time. They might explain that they're only trying to help, when in reality they're taking away your independence. And I know I made a video about something like this where narcissists, in my opinion, seem to always be the ones that would step forward and help. But I would do this thing and ask myself, like, okay, are they helping me make my decisions, or are they helping me make a decision that works for them, or that they want to control? It might not even benefit them. It's just this form of control. They may say that your friends and family aren't good enough for you, so you stop hanging out with them, or claim that you aren't good with money so they can control your finances. And these are how these subtle little control tactics are being made. And then it says, these are all ploys to limit your autonomy. I love that word. So your partner remains the one in control. They might even full on gaslight to try to make you question your sense of reality. So I know in my other video, I mentioned the difference between gaslighting and coercive control, and it's brought up here. So that's why I wanted to make note of it in my last video. Number 3, they're negative about everything. Someone who's exerting coercive control is often trying to make you believe that your world is so terrible it's about to fall apart, unless they have total control of it. They'll cast everything in a negative light. They'll doubt themselves, their relationship, and the world, and will always be on the lookout for the next problem. While it might seem like your partner is just a bit pessimistic, it's important to keep an eye out for this type of behavior and read between the lines. Their goal could be to scare you into relying on them or thinking that you need them more than you really do. This happened to me. I get it. Number 4, You act differently around them. Some signs of coercive come from how you feel about this person. Do you have to think, act, or feel different than you normally do when you are discussing the topic or the situation? If so, it may be a sign your partner is exerting coercive control. It's all about trusting your gut, which is, of course, easier said than done. But if you have an ongoing sense that something is wrong, you may want to consider why the relationship always feels wrong. I freaking relate to that too, because I remember even friends of mine that would be like, Michelle, your demeanor just completely changes when he's around. Or, I felt like I couldn't be myself. I couldn't be my true self around him. So I really understand that one. Number 5, you're always anxious. Always anxious. Similarly, another sign of control is the anxiety you'll feel as a direct result of your partner's abuse. It might seem as if tension fills the air, weighing you down, or that you have to walk on eggshells whenever they're around. So ask yourself a few questions. Do you feel frustration, tension, or anxiety frequently when you are with this person in a way that you don't feel with other people? If you're anxious more than not, something's wrong. Number 6, the relationship feels like it could fall apart. While all relationships have their ups and downs, there is toxicity that exists with coercive control. You might notice that you often feel uncertain of your relationship's future, or as if it might blow up at any given moment. It'll also feel like you have to be and act a certain way in order for the relationship to work, because saying the wrong thing or being yourself in the past resulted in a lot of negative side effects. And this is how they muffle you from being yourself, and they take your identity away. You lose control over yourself. You question yourself. And then if your relationship feels this fragile, it might be time to move on. If you're watching this video, I'm sure you know that. Number 7, you're exhausted. Dealing with the intensity of coercive control can take its toll on your overall well-being. So, even though it's easy to get caught up in the cycle of emotional abuse, sometimes even to the point where you're accepting your partner's actions as normal, you may still be able to spot its side effects. Similar to anxiety, take note. If you always feel tired after every interaction with this person, that's a sign of an unhealthy relationship. Okay. Oh, I guess that was the last one. All right, so it says down here, if you feel like you're dealing with a relationship where there's coercive control, it's time to start considering your options. This therapist suggests first talking with your partner about making a few changes, including looking for ways to create more balance. If they didn't realize they were being toxic, they should be happy to make that change. I don't know if I really would have preferred reading that, because I don't know if I agree with that. Oh, okay, and then it goes, but if you don't notice any positive results and or are looking to leave the relationship, reach out to a friend, family member, or professional for help. I personally agree. I personally think that you should reach out for professional help. I don't think that your friends and family, if they haven't lived through this type of control, will really understand what is underlying and the proper steps for you to take to gain clarity of the situation and move on from the situation and heal yourself from the situation. This coercive control, in my opinion, through my journey, this is almost 3 years now. I'm just realizing that this was still affecting me, even now. I don't live with this person. I have children with him, which is how he's able to use this type of coercive control. Number 1 was very significant in my life, because number 1 is that very thing, acting like he's not capable of parenting and taking care of our children, and using me as an extension of his parenting. Those type of things, and only saying like, oh, I can't do this, but he really can. And it's stuff that's not, hard to do, like making a phone call to the school. He'll claim that he can't make that phone call, but meanwhile I'm at work, he's not working. So it's like, are you freaking kidding me? It's things like that that I'm recognizing now, because my tolerance is 0. So now when these things come up, I'm like, wait, what? And then I'll look back and go, oh my gosh, I've been doing this the whole time. So that's why I think talking about this is such a big deal. And I hope that anybody who watched this video and understands what type of abuse this is, that maybe I shed a little bit more light for you, depending on, what I read and the explanations of other forms of abuse that fall under this category. And like I said in my other video about this type of control, there are many facets to this. This is very vast, and it's shocking to me that it is such a, I don't want to say a quiet topic, but like I said, I've been doing this narcissistic and self-bettering myself therapy and all these things for many, many years. And I'm just realizing how deep those roots were in my trauma and in my experience and in my healing. So that's why I'm passionate about making this video about this type of control. I want to bring awareness. And I say in all my videos, awareness is key. Awareness, awareness, awareness. So if you've suffered from this type of abuse and you're just realizing it now, or you've known it to be a thing before, please comment down below. The more we comment and the more we discuss these type of things, the more we bring light to this. I appreciate all the subscribers, the likes, and the comments on my videos, because the more you do that, the more my video gets recommended to people and the more this information gets out there. So if you could do that, I greatly appreciate it. And I say in almost all my videos, if you need any guidance or you want to reach out for whatever reason, and please feel free. I'm sending you my love. Thank you for watching. Bye.